Hey everyone, it's Cruella here. Just kidding, it's Cobalt. Dogs have been on my mind this morning because I spent some time researching Douglas, the toy brand I talked about yesterday. And Douglas, at least when I'm thrifting, it seems like the dogs do pretty well. A few cats, but mostly dogs. Like, we're talking over, if you get the right size, over like $200. From my research, I found a Husky first edition, so Douglas has been around since the 50s, so there have been lots of iterations, and there are now vintage ones and modern day ones. So anyways, I found one that was a first edition that sold for $3,500. And it was like a jumbo size, which means it's like over 24 inches. It sold sometime within the last 90 days. It was really pretty. It was realistic. And then the second one under that was the same one, but it had flaws. And that one sold for like over 2,000. So yeah, I've been picking up Douglas, but I don't really know a lot about it. It's been like I pick it up, I research it a little bit for that particular item, and then I list it. So I was like, you know what? It's time to do a deep dive. So I did a deep dive on specifically dogs and cats, and then I went ahead and did like cuddle toys in a general way because like there's still value between like $40 and $200, but those are like the smaller plush, and there's also different animals. So there's like horses and lynx, and I think that's like a lion of some sort. And there's like raccoons and snails, and like those can get you still like $80, $100. But yeah, it seems like dogs rule the world over $200. From the medium, large, and jumbo sizes. So that's probably like, I would say like 14 inches plus. I think a benefit to this, like both doing Rover and studying Douglas dogs, is that I'm able to retain so many more breeds and know what they look like. I mean, I had dogs growing up, but they were always like a Chihuahua mixed variety. And so, like, I knew Chihuahuas, Rat Terriers, and Golden Retrievers. And now I have expanded my world into more dogs. Yeah, so anyways, interesting how these like two businesses I'm running have finally kind of mixed a little bit. I basically was doing a lot of research and Rover this morning, and so much scheduling and crap happened that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to record this video before any more crap happens, because then I won't be able to fit it under 15 minutes. Okay, with Rover, I have been working to get reviews on there, get clients on there, and just building that up slowly. They have this like distinction where if you have like a certain number of repeat clients or reviews within like X number of months, your profile could go into what they call a star sitter. So star sitters get like an actual star next to their name. They apparently are moved up in search, and so have been kind of thinking like, I'm going to get to star sitter and I'm going to raise my rates. So that happened maybe a month or so ago, and I did raise my rates, and then it got quiet, and I waited and I tried to just see what would happen, but then I got scared and I was like, you know what? It wasn't broken. I was already the highest around my city. So I, looked up other sitters and what they offered, and I found that I was the highest by like $10. So, it is interesting too. Like, Rover recommends you set rates, so I think they recommended I start at like $20. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, just in case I get a very psycho dog or somebody who wants to pee everywhere, like, my time is worth way more than $20. Like, no cute dog can fix $20. So I'm just like, no. So I think I started around 60, and that was going pretty well. And then I just kind of slowly moved it up, and then I landed at 80 a night. And the highest person that has like similar situation to me in my area was listed at around like 65. So I'm already beating what's out there, what's available. As a client told me, the experience I can give is like a high-end luxury stay because I don't have any other animals. I don't have kids. I have a doggy door that fits up to a 100-pound dog. I have a closed backyard. I don't mind if they stay on the furniture. Like, it's crazy to me that people are like, you can't have dogs on the furniture. I'm like, your dog is my child. Like, they can go anywhere they please, you know? And then it's like, I also am like, yeah, I'll take senior dogs. Who doesn't want a senior dog? Senior dogs are so easy, so cute, so old, like, so easy. Like, why do people sign up and they don't want to take senior dogs? Like, that's bonkers to me. I feel like it'd be way harder to take a puppy. Anyways, just the fact that I offer senior care. I have done diapers before. I have done, like, administering, like, eardrops and eye drops. And then this day, we have now added to the list, I can administer insulin. So anyways, like, all of these things, I guess, from the feedback I get, makes me this, like, luxurious experience. So anyways, tried raising it, got kind of scared, decided, you know what, it's not broken, let me lower it back down to 80, which also, like, I think kind of makes sense as, like, being, like, the top tier, because I bet people filter out, like, over $100 stays. Like, some people who are star sitters, I've seen them jump their prices up from like 60 to 120 a night, and there are people still paying for that. But because Rover kind of became like my main source of income, at least the steady one compared to the ups and downs of eBay, like, I kind of need to have a rate that works for me and the person who's staying. Another benefit I think of being at that $80 mark is that's for like one dog, right? There's an additional cost. I think my profile is like currently at $60 for an additional dog per night. So that's obviously quite the expense for a family. And then it goes up even more if they are booking on a holiday. There's pros and cons. As somebody providing the service, I get charged 20% for stays, and I know the family get charged 10% for the stays when they book. So, like, we're both getting hit. Anyways, okay, that was a huge tangent. My point was, I have gotten so many requests since I've become a star sitter and I've stayed at my rate of 80 a night that I have 4 days of freedom this month, no dogs, and the rest of the days are booked. Okay, so in these 4 days, I need to source, and I also need to meet families who want to book me in April and May. So Monday of next week, I'm meeting 3 families. So next is going to be a lot of people. And then I'm meeting somebody else the 3rd week, and then somebody else, I believe, the 4th week. And if I were to book all of them, by the grace of the universe, none of the stays overlap. So I can actually accept them all if it works out, which is just beautiful. So if I were to accept them all, I know that I'm making enough from Rover to cover my bills. So I actually can take a deep breath for the next 3 months because my stays go through May that people are wanting to book. And that's a big sigh of relief. Because even though I Frankenstein this life together, like, they're both up and down. They're not guaranteed income. I still have to book them. I still have to sell things. But to now have the stays booked in advance, I can see where my money's coming from. And so now I know if I were to book them all, I'm covered through May. So therefore, reselling is just on top of it. That's wonderful. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, So I wanted to circle back to the goals I had set for February. And I was thinking about in this video talking about my goals for March, but after all the craziness I'm gonna have and all of the different families and people, like my brain really just wants the easy road. I just kind of want to coast, I think, this month. Yes, I'm still gonna do my 8 a day. I'm still gonna put the work in. I'm still gonna, source, like do everything I need to accomplish my goals. But I just don't want to like add any extra pressure. Okay, so February. Submit 6 deep dives for February. I was good up to like 4, and then I just could not fit the final 2 in until literally the last day of February. So my coach got them on Saturday. But goal complete. I still did it, but it was like, ooh, it was dicey. Second one, find and test products that can be repeatedly sourced and resold through retail arbitrage. Okay, so I've actually nixed this early on, and that's because I realized if I just go to more stores, I can still find high profit items while spending the same dollar amount, and I don't need retail arbitrage. That is going to take more capital than I have, and I really want to operate a lean business as I grow. So I just kind of nixed that. Now, from what we talked about yesterday, the phrase I'm using is infiltrate and obliterate. This came up at some point and it has stuck. And that is my strategy for infiltrating niche Facebook groups, finding my buyers, selling directly to them, and then doing it over and over again. So that's kind of my newish goal that created based off of the retail arbitrage that I went away from. Hopefully you're following. Okay. Third one, list 4 a day. Oh my gosh, I'm such a baby. I was only listing 4 a day. That was my goal for February. Fucking, can I cuss? Fucking killed that. Like, I got up to 8, above $40 ASP. Okay, so with this, I will say 8 is my minimum. On the days that I list more, it is because I have sourced a collection, so I'm doing those on top of my 8. Or I mess up somewhere and let's say one falls through the cracks and it's actually a listed value of $30. Now, I know it's an average, like technically I can list under 30, and because I also source items that are like $70, $80, the average is still like 40. But just the way my brain works, I really want all of mine to be listed at 40 and then have the extras above it. So if one slips through the cracks and I list it for $30, then I just decide I'm just going to list a second one so that way it's over $40. I know that's like, it's weird math, but it works for me. But I'm trying not to list, under the $40 ones. Fourth goal, create a sourcing budget. That never happened. And the reason is I have my average cost of goods and I multiply that by 56, which is the number of items I need per week. And because I'm buying every item for, let's say, $5 and selling it for $30 plus, there is quite the margin in there that I don't really think I need a budget. And this could be my, noob status talking, but like I'm putting a significant amount of my profits into my bank account. So as long as I keep it lean and source in places that, the price of the item is pretty low, we're good. And then I have some goals to post Mondays and Fridays in the group. Need to post today's. Thank you. It has reminded me. But I have not failed. I have done it every Monday and Friday, and that is just a big pat on the back for my consistency. That's February. I have done everything I said. Am I just the best? I don't know. I did grow up as a Girl Scout, and I did also grow up in Texas. So there is something about keeping your word that I have become very good at. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Okay, so we did kind of run out of time today. One thing I did want to cover was updates on my puppet situation, but maybe we'll just keep it to next week if I remember. Who knows? Maybe I'll just be moving on to the next hurdle in the business. But I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.